The history of the Philippines is a story of courage, sacrifice, and an unwavering desire for freedom. For more than 3 centuries, the Filipino people lived under Spanish colonial rule, enduring social injustice, discrimination, and the abuse of power. During this difficult period, many Filipinos longed for change, yet only a few dared to speak against oppression. Among those who stood up was a man whose greatest weapons were not swords or guns, but his intellect, compassion, and powerful words. His name was Dr. Jose Portasio Rizal Mercado y Alonzo Rialonda, better known as Jose Rizal. Rizal believed that education could enlighten minds, through it could expose injustice, and peaceful reform could inspire lasting change. Through his novels, essays, poems, and letters, he revealed the realities of colonial rule and awakened the consciousness of the Filipino people. His writings encourage Filipinos to recognize their dignity, value their identity, and unite in the pursuit of freedom. Although Rizal did not advocate armed revolution, his ideas became a powerful force that inspired many Filipinos to fight for independence. His life demonstrated that patriotism is expressed not only through acts of bravery on the battlefield, but also through wisdom, integrity, and selfless service to one's country. In this documentary, we will journey through the remarkable life of Jose Rizal, from his birth and family background, childhood, education, and travels to his love life, exile, trial, and execution. More importantly, we will discover how his ideas, writings, and ultimate sacrifice awakened Filipino nationalism and helped shape the identity of the Filipino nation. More than a century after his death, Jose Rizal continues to inspire millions of Filipinos. His legacies reminds us that every generation has the responsibility to defend truth, uphold justice, and love their country with courage and compassion. Jose Rizal was born on June 19, 1861 in Calamba, Laguna. He was the seventh child among 11 children of Francisco Mercado and Theodora Alonso. His father was a prosperous farmer, while his mother was highly educated and became Rizal's first teacher. She taught him the alphabet, prayers, and the value of education. Rizal's mother said to him, "Jose, always remember that knowledge is the greatest treasure no one can take away from you." Rizal said, "Yes, mother, I will study hard." So the Mercado family valued honesty, discipline, and learning, qualities that shape Rizal's character from an early age.
Rizal grew up in a loving, disciplined, and educated family that believed knowledge was one of life's greatest treasures. His parents encouraged their children to develop good character, work hard, and value education. His first teacher was his mother, Theodora Alonso. She patiently taught him the alphabet, reading, writing, arithmetic, and prayers. She also introduced him to literature by reading stories that sparked his imagination and encouraged him to think critically. Even as a young child, Rizal displayed remarkable intelligence. By the age of 3, he had already learned the alphabet, and by the age of 5, he could read and write. He loved reading books, drawing, sculpting, and observing nature. These early experiences helped develop his creativity, curiosity, and appreciation for knowledge. Before attending formal school, Rizal received instruction from private tutors. His first tutor was Maestro Celestino, followed by Maestro Lucas Padua, and later on Leon Monroy, a former classmate of his father who taught him Spanish and Latin. This lesson strengthened Rizal's academic foundation and prepared him for formal education. At the age of 9, Rizal was sent to Binian, Laguna, where he studied under Justiniano Aquino Cruz, one of the town's respected teachers. Although he was younger than many of his classmates, Rizal quickly distinguished himself through his intelligence, discipline, and determination. He consistently performed well in class and excelled in his studies. His time in Binyan also allowed him to become more independent and confident. After about a year and a half, he completed his studies there and returned to Calamba. In 1872, Rizal entered Ateneo Municipal de Manila. During his first year, he was placed in the lowest section. However, through hard work, perseverance, and dedication, he steadily rose to the highest academic ranks. Throughout his year at Ateneo, Rizal earned numerous awards and recognition for his outstanding academic performance. He also developed his talents in literature, poetry, public speaking, and leadership. In 1877, he graduated with highest honors and received the title Sobresaliente, or Outstanding Student. His success at Ateneo reflected not only his intelligence, but also his discipline, determination, and commitment to the excellence. After graduating from Ateneo, Rizal enrolled at the University of Santo Tomas, where he studied philosophy and letters before pursuing medicine. One of the reasons he chose medicine was his desire to help restore the failing eyesight of his mother. However, while studying at the university, Rizal experienced unequal treatment from the Spanish professors, which opened his eyes to the injustices experienced by Filipino under colonial rule. Seeking better education opportunities, he continued his studies in Spain at Universidad Central de Madrid, where he earned his medical degree. He later specialized in ophthalmology in Paris and Germany, becoming a highly skilled eye doctor. Jose Rizal's childhood and education shaped him into a brilliant scholar, compassionate physician, talented writer, and courageous reformist.
In 1882, Rizal left the Philippines for Spain to continue his studies at the Universidad Central de Madrid, where he completed his degree in medicine and later earned a degree in philosophy and letters. While in Spain, he became active in the propaganda movement, advocating peaceful reforms for the Philippines through his writings. After Spain, Rizal traveled to several countries across Europe, including France, Germany, Belgium, Austria, Italy, Switzerland, England, and Netherlands. During these travels, he specialized in ophthalmology, conducted historical research, learned from different cultures, and met scholars who influenced his thinking. It was also during this period that he completed and published his famous novels Noli Me Tangere and Il Filibusterismo, which exposed the injustices of the Spanish colonial rule. Rizal also visited countries in Asia, such as Japan, Hong Kong, and Singapore, as well as the United States. These journeys allowed him to observe different societies, governments, and educational systems, broadening his understanding of freedom, equality, and national development. Through his travels, Rizal became a skilled physician, a respected writer, and a nationalist who used his knowledge to inspire Filipinos to seek justice and independence. Behind Jose Rizal's achievements as a hero, writer, and reformist was a man who also experienced love. Throughout his life, several women became part of his journey. Among them were Segunda Catigba, Leonor Valenzuela, Consuelo Ortigaya Perez, Gertrude Beckett, Osia San, Seco Sai, Suzanne Jacobi, Marie Cateller, Nellie Bosted, Leonor Rivera, and Josephine Bracken. Among these women, three had the greatest influence on Rizal's life. Leonor Rivera was Rizal's greatest love, the inspiration for the character Maria Clara. In No Limitangere, the relationship lasted for more than a decade. Through letters, while Rizal was studying abroad. However, due to family pressure and the long distance between them, Leonor eventually married another man. Her marriage deeply saddened Rizal's and became one of the most heartbreaking moments of his life. Nellie Bosted, an intelligent and well-educated Filipina living in Europe, also became close to Rizal. Friendship eventually developed into mutual affection and marriage was even considered. However, their relationship did not continue because Rizal refused to convert to Protestantism, a condition set by Nele's family. Finally, Joseph and Bracken became Rizal's last and most devoted companion. They met while Josephine accompanied her adopted father to Dapitan for medical treatment. During Rizal's exile, she stayed by his side and supported him through his final years. Although they wished to marry, they were denied a Catholic church wedding because Rizal would not retract his beliefs. Despite these challenges, Josephine remained faithful to him until his execution. Rizal's love life reveals not only his romantic side, but also his unwavering commitment to his principles. He chose to remain true to his beliefs, showing that love and integrity can go hand in hand.
In 1892, after founding La Liga Filipina, Rizal was arrested and exiled to Dapitan in Mindanao. Instead of giving up, Rizal transformed in community. He became a doctor, teacher, engineer, and farmer. He built a school, treated a patient without charge, improved the tower water system, and encouraged science learning. Rizal was shown that patriotism is not only expressed through words but also through service to others. In 1896, Rizal was accused of revolution, sedition, and conspiracy, even through her revolution. After returning to Manila, he was imprisoned at the Fort Santiago and subject to military trial. The trial was widely criticized as unfair because the verdict had already been decided.
It was the early morning of December 30, 1896. At just 35 years old, Dr. Jose Rizal walked calmly from Fort Santiago to Bagumbayan, now known as Luneta Park, where he would face execution by firing squad. Although he had been found guilty of rebellion, sedition, and conspiracy by the Spanish military court, there was no evidence that had been taken part in the armed revolution. His true weapon was not a sword or a gun, but his words. Through his novels and essays, he exposed the abuses of the Spanish colonial government and inspired Filipinos to seek justice and reform. Before his execution, Rizal wrote his final masterpiece, Mi Ultimo Adios, or My Last Farewell. In this poem, he expressed his deep love for the Philippines and his willingness to sacrifice his life for his country and its future. At exactly 7:03 in the morning, the command was given. The firing squad opened fire. As he fell, Rizal deliberately turned his body to face the sky, a powerful symbol of his courage, dignity, and unwavering love for the Filipino people. Jose Rizal's execution did not silence his voice. Instead, it awakened the hearts of countless Filipinos. His death became a turning point in Philippine history, inspiring many to continue the struggle for freedom and independence. Today, Rizal is remembered not only as our national hero, but also as a symbol of patriotism, education, peaceful reform, and hope. More than a century later, the legacy of Jose Rizal lives on. His life reminds us that courage, knowledge, and love for one's country can change the course of history.